Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the young devotees in this base near ISKCON Rohini. My humble obeisances to His Grace Vaikuntha Chandra Prabhu, so humble at heart, such a senior leader, yet he is so grounded, down to earth. He has great taste for Krishna Katha, whether it is online classes or retreats like Sharanagati or in the GBC college. I have seen him hearing with rapt attention, taking notes and asking questions, and even in personal conversations also Prabhu is very, very inquisitive, like a nice seeker. So this brings great joy to my heart to see such a Vaishnava who doesn't borrow any strength from his seniority, but always remains as a seeker, a student, a hearer, and seeks inspiration from other devotees and encourages them, seeing their good qualities. So thank you so much for setting such a good example, Vaikuntha Chandra Prabhu. And thanks to all of you for taking out your time so early in the morning, before sunrise, to hear Bhagavatam. Most of the people, young people of your age, don't even get up by this time. But you are like Vaikuntha men under the guidance of Vaikuntha Chandra Prabhu. Although Chandra has not yet disappeared from the sky, you have appeared to hear Krishna Katha before sunrise. That's very inspiring. So I hope your schedules are not disturbed with this spontaneous session. Very, very. So I was asked to speak about Narada Muni's past life, and specifically from the perspective of association of Vaishnavas, Sadhu Sangha. As all of you know, Narada Muni in one of his previous lives was a Gandharva named Upabarhana. He was very handsome, always surrounded by girls, like some of your classmates in your colleges may be like that, we don't know. He was always surrounded by young girls, always handsome, likes to decorate himself nicely, move around. So one day there was a great Sankirtan festival organized by the Prajapatis in the upper planets. Many people got invitations, and even he got invitation, our Gandharva, Upabarhana. So he went there surrounded by some young girls. Although the occasion was to worship the Supreme Lord, Upabarhana, not at all paying any attention to that spiritual occasion, he was singing some materialistic songs, mundane songs with mundane expressions, totally incompatible with the mood of the occasion. So seeing such a misbehavior of Upabarhana, the Prajapatis, sages, devatas, they cursed him. You are behaving like a low-class person. May you become a Shudra in the Bhuloka. So from Gandharva Loka he fell down to Bhuloka. He took birth as the son of a maid servant. And that maid servant did not have any wealth or name, fame, prestige or great family. She is so poor that she is just going to different places and doing some menial services and getting some livelihood and maintaining her child, 5-year-old child. There is no mention about the father. There is no mention about other family members. Only this maid servant and her 5-year-old son, who is Upabarhana, who fell down. But somehow by their good fortune, some sages called the Bhaktivedanta sages came to that place. She was serving in an area where there is a Gurukul, a school, and these Bhaktivedanta sages came to that area, and it was monsoon time. Generally these traveling sages, they don't travel during monsoon, because monsoon is the time where there are so many rains and movement and travels become little austere, difficult. So they chose to stay there for this 4 months of monsoon period and do some sadhana. Important lesson for all of us. When life is very busy, then you have to go with the flow. But when there is not much activity in life, you have to absorb yourself in your sadhana practices at that time. Like you may have exams, you may have some assignments. All of your students, or some of you are working also? Few are working also. Okay, fine. So whether you are working or a student, you may have certain busy phases in your life. You may be chasing some deadlines, but there are some like not so busy phases in life also, like weekends, some vacation period, summer vacation. So those are the times you need to utilize for your sadhana. Every day you do your basic sadhana of chanting 16 rounds, maybe reading half an hour, something like that. But when you get some vacation, when you get long break, you utilize that long break to go deep into your sadhana, to go deep into your shastric study, go deep into your chanting some extra rounds, or reading for extended hours. You may have a quota of half an hour or 1 hour of reading per day, but in half an hour, even warm-up doesn't happen. But if you take out one day and read all the prayers of Kunti Maharani, along with Bhaktivedanta purports, recite the shlokas, read word-to-word meanings, read the translations, and reflect on them. Also try to contemplate on how this shloka is applicable to your life. Connect that shloka with 10 other shlokas in the other scriptures. So when you do such a meditative, contemplative reading for extended amount of time, you absorb into her mood, you imbibe her mood, you become like Kunti Maharani in terms of your emotions. Right? She is expressing her dependence on Krishna. She is expressing her deep devotion to Krishna. She is thanking Krishna with deep gratitude. So that kind of meditative reading and spending a lot of time on one aspect of sadhana will help us make deeper bonding with Krishna. So last 1 week we were in Sharanagati retreat. Whole day, so much of katha. I think at least 6 hours we are hearing na Prabhu in a day. In a day we are hearing about 6 hours. Then Kirtan also 2-3 hours. And whatever discussions happen when classes and Kirtans are not happening is also spiritual. There's like 5 days we were like totally absorbed in pure spiritual vibrations at the foothills of Govardhan. And this charging, spiritual charging that we get will sustain our spiritual life for next several months till we get the next phase of, next dose of inspiration. On a daily basis, if we can do it like this, that's amazing. But that doesn't happen because you are working, you are studying, so you can take such breaks. So these traveling sages who are absorbed in preaching activities and all, they got this break of 4 months. They thought, okay, no preaching activity, no projects, no traveling, no movement. 4 months, we'll sit at one place and discuss Harikatha, study scriptures, worship the Lord, and contemplate, introspect on this, on Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela, and spend quality time with each other to go deep into our Vaishnava relationships. Right? Sometimes you are busy with your life, he is busy with his life, you hardly spend time with each other, although you are living at the same place. It happens, right? But when you take out some time, 1 hour you sit with your friend, 2 hours you sit with your friend, ask what's going on in their life, you reveal what's going on in your life, share your spiritual realizations, reflections, experiences, excitements, exhaustions, that will bring you closer to each other. Thus, all these break periods we need to utilize for contemplation, for reflection, to build our Vaishnava relationships, sadhu sangha. You see, sadhu sangha is very important in our lives. Although we may live with sadhus, sadhu is not only one who wears saffron and has a shaved head. Sadhu is any sincere sadhaka, any sincere practitioner of devotional service who is upholding Vaishnava culture is a sadhu. He need not be a brahmachari or a sannyasi only. He can be a student or a professional. He can be man or woman also. Sadhutva, good quality. So, develop appreciation for each other and take association of each other. When you speak about Krishna with each other, when you discuss Harikatha with each other, then you will understand each other's sadhutva. When you interact with other people, other practitioners of bhakti, only for the purpose of some action, some project, some service, then what happens is you will become more familiar with their skills, with their nature, with their temperament, with their mood. But when you sit with them and discuss about Krishna, discuss Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then you will understand their devotion. Right? Don't just see another person as a set of, or as a set of skills and talents and resources. See them as Vaishnavas. For you to see your roommate or classmate or whatever, basemate as a Vaishnava, you need to hear Vishnu Katha from them. Without this mic, just 2-3 people sit together and discuss about Krishna. That is sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is not just physically living with a sadhu in a base like this. Sadhu sangha is to discuss Krishna Katha. That's what the Bhaktivedanta sages are doing, isn't it? 4 months, they are spending quality time with each other, with Krishna in the center, with Krishna Katha in the center. 4 months. How many months do you spend? How many hours do you spend in a week? Maybe it's a good idea to have a target. In this month or in this week, I will have to spend at least 3 or 4 hours quality time with my friends, with my devotee friends, discussing Krishna Katha. Possible?
Yes.
When you are taking prasadam, half an hour you may sit, instead of discussing all kinds of topics. What is the new phone model? Is there a better mic? Of course, that discussion will go on anyways. What's the new movie? Some kind of other updates, current affairs. Or sometimes when we sit with other devotees, we don't have any subject matter to discuss only. But I see Vaikuntha Chandra Prabhu, whenever he talks, he is the theme of his speech, his conversation is how do I go deep into my bhakti. That's the topic he talks. Like 2 days back, we were doing parikrama of the lawn at Govardhan Retreat Center. He is only saying, how do I go deep into my bhakti? That's a conversation, topic of conversation. So that when we have such spiritual conversations with devotees, that is sadhu sangha. Not that he is wearing tilak, I am wearing tilak. He is wearing dhoti, I am wearing dhoti. we are living together, that is sadhu sangha. No, that's just the external facet of it. But what exactly is the subject matter of your interaction? If the subject matter of interaction is Krishna's nama, rupa, guna, leela, if the subject matter of interaction is to go deep into your own devotion to Krishna, then you are actually taking sadhu sangha of other devotees. If the subject matter of our interaction is Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then that is sadhu sangha. The Bhaktivedanta sages spend quality time with each other. Every day, for 4 full months, they are sitting and discussing Krishna Katha, discussing Shastras. Thus, that their relationship with each other is also improving. When he speaks Krishna Katha with you, I forgot your name, Prabhu.
Mahesh.
Mahesh. Mahesh Prabhu is very kind to me. Last year when I came, he was maintaining me with meticulous guest reception standards. My God, very punctual. Anyways, so Mahesh Prabhu, what is your name? The cameraman. Abhinav. Okay. When Mahesh Prabhu speaks about Krishna, what are you reading now currently?
Teachings of Queen Kunti.
Teachings of Queen Kunti, very good. And what are you reading? Bhagavad Gita. Okay. He speaks Bhagavad Gita shloka. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. How many of you know this shloka? Okay. Those who don't know this shloka, our Abhinav Prabhu will teach you this shloka today. Right? You should share. Because you're not supposed to just read the shloka, Abhinav Prabhu. You are supposed to apply that shloka, live that shloka. What does the shloka say? Tell me.
This shloka tells about, it comes in chapter 9. And it tells about that those devotees who always remember me, talks about me, they always became happy when they discuss about me.
Correct. When to become happy, when to apply that shloka, then discuss about him. Bodhayantaha parasparam, enlightening each other. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam. Bodhayanta means to teach, to enlighten, to speak about Krishna to another devotee. Parasparam, we enlighten each other. He will enlighten you on teachings of Queen Kunti, you enlighten him on Bhagavad Gita, and in your private conversations, in your personal conversations. You don't need a mic. 50 people are sitting here. Even if you don't have 50 people, even if you have 4 people, you have 2 people. 2 of you sit together and discuss. And when he speaks of Bhagavad Gita and you speak teachings of Queen Kunti, what happens is, you hear Bhagavad Gita from him, you will understand how much he understood Bhagavad Gita, how much love he has for Krishna, how much devotion he has for Krishna. Then you connect to the spiritual side of his personality. But if you only interact with him, Prabhu, you are a cameraman, recording ठीक से आया नहीं, tripod ठीक से रखा नहीं, वो टेढ़ा है camera. So then you just connect with his skill only. When you have action-oriented, purpose-driven interactions, you will only get exposed to his skills, and he may not be that skillful, or he may be skillful. If he is very skillful, you get impressed with his skill. If he is not that skillful, you will give galley, or you may not have a great impression about him. Arey, itna खास आदमी नहीं है. He is not that great. He goes up services. You may just connect with his temporary qualities or temporary skills or talents or resourcefulness, etc. But when you hear from him about Bhagavad Gita, you will understand, my God, he has so much devotion for Krishna, he is so sincere in his sadhana, thus your appreciation for him will increase. And because of that spiritual appreciation that you have for his devotion to Krishna, even if he does some mistake in his service, you will forgive him. And you will guide him, you will accommodate him, you will not judge him. You will not disown him. Even if you say your service is not up to the mark, still we love you because you have devotion for Krishna. Let's find someone else who has some better skill, no problem. But you are valuable for us because you have devotion for Krishna. Similarly, you hear teachings of Queen Kunti from Mahesh Prabhu. Yes, Mahesh Prabhu, what shloka are you reading in Kunti's teachings?
Right now I'm in 8th chapter. I don't know exactly the shloka.
Oh, okay, fine. So he will share some shloka, Vipadaha Santuta Shashvata Tatra Jagat Guru, or Namaste, Namaha Pankajanabhaya, Namaha Pankajamalini, some shloka he shares, then you will develop appreciation for him. This is Sadhu Sangha. This is Sadhu Sangha, real Sadhu Sangha. Let's have Vaishnava relationships. Let's spend quality time with each other discussing about Krishna, directly about Krishna. Other things will go on. Even if you don't like also, you have to interact with people with service in the center. Right? So regular practical conversations will anyways happen without you putting so much effort. But where you have to put effort is sitting with others and discussing about Krishna. That is completely sidelined. Not only you, I am speaking about brahmachari ashrams also. Yes, Prabhu, brahmachari for almost 2 decades. How many brahmacharis sit together and discuss directly about Krishna? Action, project, management, right? Nothing wrong about it. But add this element also. That will anyways go on. Whether you like it or don't like it, you have to sit in a management meeting. Whether you get rasa or not, you have to sit and do the needful there. But there is no emphasis. Like sometimes in our managerial meetings, when we emphasize this point, they say, okay, fine. Let's read one purport of Prabhupada before starting the meeting. Let's read one shloka before starting the meeting. We make that arrangement. But when we start the meeting, when we are reading Prabhupada's purports, many members in the assembly, they are checking their phones, WhatsApp. Purport khatam ho gaya? They become active. Bolo, agenda kya hai? First item. They become extremely active. When we are talking about action. But when we are reading one shloka, they are checking their phones, they are distracted. Some are calling also. Some come late 5 minutes. पहले कुछ होता नहीं यार, पढ़ पढ़ते हो. I come 5 minutes late. Happens. Now you are very young. These are formative years. Many of you are early 20s, right? Early 20s or late 20s. Anyone beyond 30 here? No one? Okay. You? A senior devotee. Right? Others are junior devotees. They are in 20s. So form these habits of discussing Krishna Katha. Let there be real sadhu sangha. Not just so-called sadhu sangha where there is no sangha there. There is no sadhutva there. Anyways, this sadhu sangha is going on. This boy, 5-year-old child, he came there. Son of maid servant. He had no training, he had no education, he has no beauty, he has no wealth, he has no privileges. Nothing he has. Just a 5-year-old child. Son of a maid servant. He came there as they are discussing about Krishna. He sat there. Whatever he understood, he just hearing. Oh, Krishna is so beautiful. Krishna is so compassionate. Krishna is so glorious. He is an abode of all good qualities. The sadhus are discussing this. So he became so attracted to their conversations. And they never say, these are confidential discussions, get lost. They never said. Krishna Katha is never confidential. Some managerial things are kept confidential. But Krishna Katha is not confidential. But people don't take any interest in it. They take more interest in confidential subject matter, secrets. Here, this is a better subject matter for you to focus on. Please focus on this. Why are you overly inquisitive and curious to know about current affairs and all? Nothing happens if you don't know it. But people have so much of enthusiasm to know some confidential things that are happening in big circles and all. But hardly any inquisitiveness to know what's there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, what's there in Bhagavatam, what's there in Bhagavad Gita, what's there in the commentaries of Acharyas. You should be extremely inquisitive and curious to know what does Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur talk about this prayer of Kunti. What does Baldev Vidyabhushan talk about this shloka of Bhagavatam, of Bhagavad Gita. What did Prabhupada say about Chitraketu Maharaj? You should be curious to know. Your every reading, your every hearing should increase your curiosity to go deep into, to understand what Acharyas are saying, what Prabhupada is saying, what Sukadeva Goswami is saying, what Vyasadeva is saying. You should be very eager to know. Don't be very eager to know what's the next Bollywood release. That eagerness, that enthusiasm, that inquisitiveness will keep us in the material world. But when we become very eager and enthusiastic to go deep into spiritual subject matters, that will take us to the spiritual world. So this boy was very eager, very enthusiastic. He just went and sat there. He's hearing everything. That gave him some Shraddha. What are the 9 stages of bhakti? Anyone remembers? Not 9 processes, 9 stages. Yes, Prabhu.
Shraddha, sadhusana, bhajan, kriya, nidhi, nishtha, ruchi, shakti, bhav, prem.
Mukund Prabhu and Mukul Prabhu. Oh, Mukul. I remember 5 levels of consciousness. Let's talk about it. There are 5 levels of consciousness. First is Avrita Chetana. Avrita Chetana means covered consciousness, like in plants, not Tulsi plant, other plants. Right? They don't have advanced Chetana. Even if you pluck a leaf or a flower or a fruit or a branch itself, the tree doesn't scream in pain because the Chetana is Avrita, covered consciousness, Avrita Chetana. Then second is Sankuchita Chetana. Sankuchita means shrunken consciousness, like in animals and birds. Definitely they have developed consciousness compared to the trees, but their consciousness is not as great as a human being. Their consciousness is low. Even if you give a galley to a dog, doesn't even understand only. But when you chastise or scold or insult, abuse a human being, he will get affected by it. He will be mentally affected by it. He will become agitated. There is a sense of honor there. But animals, they don't have that sense of honor as such. So basically, that is shrunken consciousness. First is Avrita Chetana, second is Sankuchita Chetana. Third is Mukulita Chetana. This way I remember. He is Mukul, right? So Mukulita Chetana means budding consciousness, as you see in human beings. Right? So they have more developed consciousness than plants and animals. That is Mukulita Chetana. Now we hope and pray that our Mukul Prabhu doesn't stop at Mukulita Chetana only. He goes to the next level. You know what is the next level? 4th level of consciousness? Vikasita Chetana. Mukulita means budding. Vikasita means blossoming. So this was a bud. This flower was a bud at the time. Then when it is blossoming now, it's just opening up like this. Mukulita Chetana is there in normal human beings who are not even practicing bhakti. But Vikasita Chetana means blossoming consciousness is there in a practicing devotee. All of you are practicing bhakti, right? All of you are practicing devotional service, chanting, hearing, chanting and all. So that is making the bud of your consciousness blossom slowly like this. The more you perform sadhana, the more you take sadhu sangha, so your consciousness is getting blossomed like this. Then 5th level is Purna Vikasita Chetana, completely blossomed consciousness, which is there in pure devotees, elevated devotees. Vikasita Chetana is practicing devotees. How much vikas you will have, how much is it blossomed? To the degree you take seriously your sadhana, to that degree your consciousness keeps blossoming like this, like this, like this. As the flower is like bud is just blossoming like this slowly, it keeps on emanating fragrance. But Purna Vikasita Chetana, the completely blossomed consciousness in pure devotees, that's like eternally fragrant. So we need to advance. So these 5 levels of consciousness are mentioned in the scriptures. This boy, he was a human being, that is a small child, so he had Murkalita Chetana only. But in the association of sadhus, he got Vikasita Chetana. Means his consciousness is getting elevated. From Shraddha, he is going to Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya, then Anartha Nivrti. Like that, he passed through all 9 stages of bhakti in those 4 months only. He came up to the standard of Prema. He came to Prema level in 4 months. Because this boy was not mischievous, was not attached to sports. He was not speaking lies, he was very self-controlled, he was very respectful towards all the Bhaktivedanta sages. As Upabarhana, he was very mischievous. Because of his mischievous tendencies, Upabarhana was cursed by great souls. But now, this boy, who is Upabarhana only in the form of a maidservant's son, he was very disciplined in his dealings and he got blessings from the Bhaktivedanta sages. When our behavior is good, we get blessings. When our behavior is bad, we get curses. Simple. Behavior matters. Yes, mood is more important than external activity, but external activity is also important. External behavior, your conduct, your demeanor, the way you deal with other devotees, that's very much essential for us to receive some blessings, or that may be cause of receiving curses also. Same person in two forms exhibited two different types of behavior and received different types of reactions or responses from others. So by the blessings of this Bhaktivedanta sages, this boy became very advanced. He became a Premi Bhakta. And this boy, in the association of Bhaktivedanta sages, he not only heard Krishna Katha sincerely, but he also rendered some services to them. Whatever little service he can do. That he would get flowers or fruits or some puja paraphernalia, or he will clean up the place when the sages have to sit there. And one day the sages took some prasadam and something was left out. Then the boy said, "Can I take your remnants?" The sages smiled and said, "Okay, fine, take." 5-year-old boy. He took their remnants also. Thus, by the power of the remnants, Vaishnava Uchishta, by the power of their Sangha, by the power of hearing Krishna Katha in that association, and by his own personal discipline and conduct, this boy became very advanced in bhakti. He passed through all the stages of bhakti, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. All the anarthas are gone. He got nishtha. He got rooted in his bhakti. How many of you feel that your bhakti is not very steady? Anishtita bhakti. I should raise my hand first. Anishtita bhakti. But that anishtita bhakti we can become nishtita bhakti when you hear Krishna Katha. What's the proof? Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. Abhadra means anarthas, lust, envy, pride, greed, and all such anarthas. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu, all these anarthas are completely eradicated when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, when you regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam and when you regularly serve those devotees who have internalized Srimad Bhagavatam. This word Bhagavata is not only book Bhagavatam, it is also person Bhagavatam. And who is a person Bhagavatam? One who has assimilated, absorbed, internalized and realized the teachings of Bhagavatam. Such a person is called Bhagavata. He is a person Bhagavatam. So when you render service to such person Bhagavatam, when you hear regularly from book Bhagavatam, then bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. Then anarthas will go, you will go to the next level of nishtha. Nishtha is after Anarthavati, right? After Anarthavati, the next stage is what? Correct, right? I am confirming with Mukul Prabhu. I don't know because I have not come to the Nishtha stage yet. I am struggling with my anarthas. But I have hope that by regularly hearing Bhagavatam, my anarthas will go, I will come to Nishtha. But the question is, how many of us are prioritizing to hear Srimad Bhagavatam Nityam on a daily basis? If you are not doing it, how can the anarthas go? Not possible. Simple. Many times devotees ask this question that Prabhu, I am practicing bhakti since 10 years. I am chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds since 10 years or 15 years. Still I have lust, still I have pride, still I have greed. The process is not working or what? Process will work, you are not working properly. That's the problem. The problem is you have not taken this little phrase of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya seriously. When you do Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshi will happen and Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki will happen. For your anarthas to be eradicated, we have to regularly take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And for us to become steady in our bhakti, for us to come to Nishtha stage, we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It is Bhagavatam that takes us to the next higher and higher levels of bhakti. I am not speaking theory. I am not speaking out of sentiment. This is directly mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam right in the first canto, second chapter. I am not even going to 11th canto, 12th canto, big cantos, 10th canto. No. Right in the beginning of Bhagavatam it is said, Nashta Prayesha Bhadresha. In most of the Bhagavatam classes, this sloka is recited before the class. You have seen that? Nashta Prayesha Bhadresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. But I don't know how many people have taken this shloka seriously, how many have meditated on the meaning of this shloka seriously, and how many have practiced it. By regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and serving those Vaishnavas who have internalized and understood the teachings of Bhagavatam, our anarthas will be eradicated and we will become steady, we will come to Nishtha stage. Even after practicing bhakti for 10 years or 20 years, still if you are struggling with anarthas, that means we have not heard Bhagavatam sincerely. Still we are struggling with lust, envy, pride. I am not an exception, by the way. I am also struggling. I also have not taken this Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya very seriously. But in your association, I am reminding myself of this principle so that I can take Bhagavatam more seriously. Nityam, on a regular basis, daily basis, not once in a while. Nityam Bhagavatam. Regularly I read Prabhu. Regularly means once in 6 months, once in a year, or once in a month. Every month I read one shloka. You know that? Every month one shloka. Prabhupada made a system, every day one shloka. That is only for morning Bhagavatam class. But in your personal study, every day can be one chapter. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Right? And that hearing must be quality hearing, not a ritualistic hearing. Sometimes people have this thing, let me hear. Tick mark. 1 hour hearing hoga. This week, 7 hours hearing, done. But how much have we taken it seriously? How much have we internalized it? We should not just do ritualistic hearing, we should try to do meditative hearing and application oriented hearing also. So after hearing, Shravanam, we should also do Mananam, revise it. After doing Mananam, you should also do Nidhidhyasanam. Means contemplate on it, go deep into it, try to connect that with your personal life. Shravanam must be followed by Mananam. Shravanam is hearing. Mananam is revision, recollection, revising, again, revisiting what you have studied again. Mananam. Then Nididhyasana means you contemplate, you meditate on it. You are not just revising what you have already heard, you are also going deep into that by reflecting on it, by connecting it with your personal experience, connecting with other sections of the Bhagavatam, basically analyzing it deeply within your own mind. That is Nididhyasana. Then after that you should do Kirtanam. Kirtana means start sharing with others. Start sharing your understanding with others. Convert your theoretical understanding into practical realization by contemplation and application and sharing with others. Discussion. Contemplation, application and discussion. These three things will help us internalize the subject matter. Contemplation. Whatever you read, you contemplate on it, internally analyze it, reflect on it. Then second is application. Try to apply it. Try to practice. He just said, he read Bodhayanta Parasparam. Apply it. You apply. What Bodhayanta Parasparam means? I have to enlighten. I have to discuss with others. Parasparana Kathanam. Apply it. Then discuss it with others. Discuss your realizations with others. Then you can internalize it. Passive reading, it has its own purifying impact, but don't stop at passive reading only. Don't do ritualistic reading. Make it very active reading, not passive reading. So that will help us go deep into what we are trying to do in bhakti. Then the whole reading process, the whole hearing process will become very, very enlivening. Otherwise it's like boring ritualistic stuff. और एक क्लास सुन लेता हूँ और एक चैप्टर पढ़ लेता हूँ. Then how are you utilizing it? How are we internalizing it? We should take deep into our heart. Srinvanti gayanti grinanti abhikshasah smaranti nandanti tabehitam janaha tayeva pashyantya chirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. From Kunti's teachings. Maybe you have not yet reached there. He reached. Right? What's your name? Kartik. Srinvanti gayanti grananti abhikshnasah. Srinvanti means to hear. Gayanti means to sing or to share. Grananti abhikshnasah means constantly you should try to make an endeavor to apply it, to internalize it. Not just hearing and speaking, but taking it into the heart. You should put some effort to internalize it, to connect with it, to go deep into it. Bhurijan Prabhu emphasizes on this point. So don't just passively read, reflect on it, go deep into it. Not speculation. Reflection is not speculation, by the way. Contemplation means not speculation. Sometimes people may speculate and squeeze out some lessons, take some assistance from ChatGPT to add to their speculation. Right? We don't want such intellectual analysis just to impress others. We need more application-oriented analysis. Let me apply it. Let me internalize it. Don't outsource your learning to ChatGPT, please. If you give some topic to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to give some present analysis, it may give. Acronyms also it makes, right? Make an acronym of this. Or some lesson out of it. Okay, you just got some lesson from it and you share it with others. Then how have we internalized it? Don't outsource your swadhyaya to artificial intelligence. Use your natural God-given intelligence. Don't outsource your shastric study to someone else, to something else. You relish it. Will you tell artificial intelligence, this is rasmalai, eat it and tell me how it is? You will eat it, right? The eagerness that you have to directly taste, personally taste rasgulla, rasmalai. Sorry, today is Ekadashi. You can eat, right? No grain there. Fine. Anyways, so we cannot get the personal experience of the taste of a food item unless we eat it. Similarly, you should get the taste of Bhagavatam. You should personally get the taste of Bhagavad Gita or any scripture. For that, you should study, you should hear, you should contemplate, you should reflect on it, you should go deep into it. You should try to connect with your life. And you can learn from other Vaishnavas, no doubt. But just to impress common people, don't just allow the AI to process it and then you present it. Okay, sometimes it's okay. Basically, utility is the principle. I'm not against AI, by the way. I'm also using for the pictures. Right? That's okay. And some language polishing. You can use anything in Krishna's service. We are not against anything. But we are emphasizing on the principle of going deep into our own Krishna consciousness. Don't be lazy to study Shastra. You are very young, in your 20s. This is the age for learning. Ask some devotees who are in 40s or 50s, those who did not have the experience of studying at their young age. They feel that even though we have time now, we are unable to focus on it because we never cultivated that habit. So, now this little boy, Upabarhana, in his next life as the son of maid servant, he went deep into bhakti. He got the association of the sadhus and he went very deep into his bhakti and he became a Premi Bhakta. That's the power of sadhu sangha. And after that, 4 months of period, the Bhaktivedanta sages left the place and the maid servant, one evening, she went to milk a cow, but on the way she was bitten by a snake and she died on the spot. The only caretaker, the only protector of this little boy, 5-year-old child, he lost his mother. But Prabhupada writes in the purport, this is the way of dragging a sincere soul towards the lotus feet of Krishna. You see? By giving a calamity, by giving a difficulty, Krishna is dragging a devotee towards his lotus feet. Apparently it seems, oh, Krishna is so unkind, this devotee, this boy became a wonderful devotee, he became a Premi Bhakta, but he lost his mother. You are seeing only the material calamity there. But see that this little boy at the age of 5 had the maturity to digest this calamity and had the maturity to see this calamity as an opportunity to intensify his Krishna consciousness. He did not see it as indifference of Krishna. He did not see it as injustice of Krishna. He only went deep into his own Krishna consciousness. He has full confidence that my mother must have attained another great destination where she continues her bhakti. As a 5-year-old child, he did some service to Bhaktivedantas. He became a Premi Bhakta. As a grown-up lady, she must have done more service, right? Definitely she must be getting a better destination. Maybe she must have gone back to Godhead, who knows? Even if she has not gone back to Godhead, at least she would continue her bhakti in a different situation, in a much better situation. Now she is struggling as a maid servant here in this life. Krishna must have given her another life where she continues the practice of bhakti in a more comfortable situation, more favorable situation. And this little boy, 5-year-old child, he had the wealth of the knowledge that he received in the sadhu sangha. They taught him the process of worshipping the Lord. He applied that process. He practiced the process given by the Bhaktivedanta sages. And he became Narada Muni eventually. So material calamity, if it helps us go deeper into our own Krishna consciousness, we should welcome it. That's what Kunti Maharani says. Yes, did you read, Mahesh Prabhu? Vipadaha santutaha. Who can recite this shloka? Yes, Kartik Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I am very inspired by all of you. You are taking your Shastric study seriously at such a young age. So, she says, Vipadaha santutaha shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yasyata punarbhava darshanam. Let all the calamities that happened in my life happen again. Let me get more and more calamities. Let me experience more and more difficulties. Because during those difficulties, we get your darshan. We remember you. We become more prayerful. We become more dependent on you. Krishna, give us more calamities. He is not a calamity lover, by the way. What do you like, Mahesh Prabhu? What's your favorite food item? Rasgulla. What do you like, Abhinav Prabhu? Palak paneer. Yes, Mukul Prabhu. Samosa. Yes, Kartik Prabhu. Samosa. Two samosa lovers get 2 garlands. So he likes samosas, he likes rasgulla, he likes palak paneer, somebody likes pizza. You are a non-spicy sweet man, therefore you like sweets. And Kunti Mahanadi loves difficulties. Is it like that? No. She's not a lover of difficulties. She's a lover of Krishna. But because difficulty is giving her an opportunity to see Krishna, she says, let more difficulties come. Right? That's the point. So, this boy, he got this great difficulty. At the age of 5, he lost his mother. But the difficulty did not make him lose his faith in Krishna consciousness. The difficulty made him more Krishna conscious. You understand? Same difficulty, if it happens in someone else's life, they lose faith in bhakti, they lose faith in Krishna. For example, Chitraketu Maharaja's wife, Kritadyuti, she lost her son died. She lost faith in Krishna, she started criticizing Krishna. But this boy, 5-year-old child, he lost his mother. Their mother lost the son and her faith is lost. Here son lost the mother, his faith is increased. He went deeper into his Krishna consciousness. So when you are sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, then you will have more faith in Krishna, even in calamities. Calamity becomes an opportunity for you to go deep into your Krishna consciousness. Whether it is a materially pleasant situation or materially unpleasant situation, it is orchestrated by Krishna, who is my dearest well-wisher. Through this happiness or through this distress, Krishna's intention is to bring me closer to himself. Therefore, let me thank Krishna, let me be grateful to Krishna. That's the mode of a devotee. Is it getting heavy for you? You are all young devotees. I am speaking, I hope it's not heavy for you. Okay, thank you. So these are some thoughts. And that power to absorb this calamity for this boy, child, that came from sadhu sangha. How did he become so mature in his Krishna consciousness? Where did he get that maturity to see that calamity also as Krishna's mercy? Tapatrayonmulanam. For a devotee, misery is mercy of Krishna. When you practice bhakti, you will be equipped with the necessary maturity to see misery as mercy of Krishna. For materialistic people, misery is misery. They see misery as neglect of God. But a devotee sees misery as mercy of God. Perspective change. I am undergoing so many difficulties. God is not merciful. That is the understanding of an immature spiritualist or a pakka materialist, who may become atheist also when there is difficulty. Or who may change God. I was worshipping Krishna, it didn't work, let me worship Ram. It didn't work, let me worship some other so-called man-made God. But devotees are not like that. Whether you give me happiness or distress, you are my worshipable Lord forever. Where do we get this maturity? Where do we get this exclusive dependence on Krishna's will despite experiencing hundreds of difficulties in life? From sadhu sangha. When we associate with mature devotees, they will make us mature. Our maturity is tested when we receive some calamities. Our devotion is tested when we experience some difficulties in life. But this little boy at the age of 5, he is very mature. He accepted Krishna's will. He did not become materially emotional. And he went deep into his Krishna consciousness. Eventually he became Narada Muni, who was the guru of hundreds and thousands of devotees. There are 12 cantos in Bhagavatam. In every single canto of Bhagavatam, Narada Muni is doing something. There is a description of Narada Muni. Okay. What's the time now?
7:26.
7:26, 23. Okay. Any questions, comments, clarifications, objections? Yes? Oh, so many hands.
Thank you for this wonderful lecture. There is a difference speculation and realization.
Correct.
So can you draw some line on
Simple, Prabhu. Whether the thought that appeared in your mind is a speculation or a bona fide reflection or a deep realization, you can check it very easily by consulting another sadhu, a Vaishnava. Whoever is your counselor, mentor, guru, or some senior Vaishnava who is guiding you in your bhakti, they will be able to confirm it. If you get a thought in your mind, you should go and tell them, Prabhu, I am feeling like this. I read this pastime and I got this thought. I thought this is a lesson in this pastime. Is it correct or did I speculate? Is it inspired by my Paramatma or is it inspired by my material mind? You can confirm with your seniors because they are more experienced, they are more realized, they can give their thoughts, they can reflect on your reflections and evaluate your reflections whether they are right or wrong. Right? So, we are not alone, Prabhu. We have so many devotees around us. Here itself I can see so many. How many of you? 60, 70? So here in this little base itself, you have so many devotees. You have friends, you have seniors, you have juniors. All of them will help us advance in bhakti. We are not alone. Whether you want to confirm whether your thought is a mental speculation or a devotional realization, you can get a review of that from Vaikuntha Chandra Prabhu or any other senior devotees. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu. What's your name? Piyush. And your name?
Shrestha.
Shrestha. You asked the Shrestha question. Yes, Piyush. Piyush means you should drink nectar always. Pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam. Yeah, go ahead.
Suppose that I am reading Bhagavad Gita for half an hour, I might have read 10 to 12 shlokas. Then, after reading, how should I contemplate on in the whole day, practically?
Good question. See, Prabhu, revision you can deliberately do. Reflection, you may do deliberately little bit, but many times it happens spontaneously. When you are reading Dhruva Maharaj's story, sometimes spontaneously you remember Prahlad Maharaj. You don't deliberately do it. You can do it also, no problem. Where else in Bhagavatam it says like this, you can deliberate on it also. But many times that pops up in your mind. Some personal experience. He is reading Kunti Maharani's prayers. Some personal experience in his own life may just pop up in his mind as he is reading one statement from Kunti Maharani's prayers or some purport of Prabhupada. So reflections, they appear in the mind spontaneously many times, or you can even deliberately do that also. You can just take out some time and then say, okay, where else this kind of theme appears in Gita, Bhagavatam? How does it connect with my spiritual life at this moment? Because everything that you are reading may not be immediately practically relevant at your age. So something is mentioned about Grihastha Ashram. You are a bachelor. Who knows, tomorrow you may become brahmachari. Or you may become married person, but something about married life is being given there. You may not immediately resonate with it. That's okay, just read it. Go ahead. Right? When the right time comes, this file will be taken out. You go out for shopping, right? Whether you have immediate utility of something or not, you have a tendency to accumulate and keep things. Future mein kaam aayega. Right? Why do we become very conducive in our Shastric study? Whether something is immediately relevant to us or not, we can just read organically, read chronologically, and that experience of reading will come to your rescue after a long time. This knowledge, like mathematics formulas, when the final exam happens, which formula will help you to solve which problem, you may not know at this moment. Anyways, coming to your main point, reflection, sometimes it is spontaneous, sometimes you can deliberate also.
How can you revise it? Like for half an hour reading, how much time should I spend for revising it?
First 5 minutes, first 3 minutes. So you read one chapter today. you took some notes. One good thing that I can say, it's not a Veda Vakya, but in my own personal Shastric study, I am very helped by this. That is taking notes. When you read a chapter, the chapter may be 30-40 pages, you get the gist of that chapter in your own words, in your book. You take notes. You may read one page, you may write 2-3 lines there. You may read 40 pages, you may write the essence of it, the summary of it in your own words in 3-4 pages. How do you take notes? Up to you. Like in my notes, sometimes I make flowcharts. Sometimes I may make some kind of block diagrams. Sometimes I may draw pictures. Sometimes I may make acronyms. Sometimes I copy one Prabhupada's statement as it is in my book, because it's very inspiring to me. And sometimes I write the shloka as it is. Sometimes I paraphrase the translation and then put it in my own words. Sometimes I may read 10 pages, I may not write even one line also. It's a simple storyline. I'm kind of aware of it. But sometimes by reading one page, I take half-page notes, because so many wonderful points are there, philosophical points, lessons are there. So how exactly do you take notes? There is no standard format as such. There is no template there. The way it is natural for you, you take notes. Some people make mind maps. Whatever is natural for you. So you do. Some people take with multiple colors. Some people type notes. I prefer to write with hand. I type also sometimes, but writing has its own way of making it very more personal. So you take notes, you paraphrase and write in your own words. Thus some kind of processing is happening, some understanding is happening. So next day when you sit to read the next chapter, you revise your notes. You read whatever you have written on the first chapter from your notes. Then you begin your reading. You have half an hour slot for reading? Fine. You read half an hour. You get the essence of whatever you read in half an hour in your notes in one page. And next day when you begin your study, read that one page. It may take 2 minutes for you. Then you start. Okay. Thank you. How long should we go, Prabhu? 7:30 now? Should we conclude here now? Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.